Okay, here we go. And I keep forgetting to put my little paper here so I don't stare at myself. Oh, wow. Another beautiful day here in the beautiful Blue Ridge Appalachian Mountains in the United States. And today, I just came in from the garden, so I'm always going to look this way. And I've decided that that's my statement. I'm take it or leave it. I would have started doing videos a long time ago, but I kept getting tied down with, but what am I going to say? And what persona should I put out there? And, what's my tagline? And and finally I said to myself, you know what, just do 15 minutes a day. You can archive it and never show anybody, or, maybe someday hit send and or view to the public. I don't know, I'm getting there. My mom always said I was either, because I have half water, half fire in my chart. My mom was an astrologer. She'd always say I'm either putting out my water or, no, boiling my water or putting out my fire. She's, and that's my cat and my daughter's dog, who is not very cat friendly. Well, she's just a puppy, really. Hang on just a minute. Let me pause. Okay. Okay? We're rolling. I had to manage my little puppy here. So what was I saying? Yeah. So I wasn't sure, what I wanted to do. So I said, just 15 minutes a day. And so this is what I'm doing. And my mom always said I was either boiling my water or putting out my fire. So being, coming into who we are, this is what the internet is doing for us, and it's pretty wonderful and horrible at the same time, is we're all sort of allowed to just kind of get to know each other really intimately, like one-on-one, like this. And we don't have to be filtered through other, government regulations and, I mean, yeah, the internet is a big target for regulations. So, we got to get creative and come up with another solution before that becomes untouchable. I mean, I feel like blockchain technologies are really have a lot of potential, and the DAOs, what is it, DAOs? I really don't know anything about it, but I do know that it is a decentralized form of interaction. So maybe there's something there for communicating. Maybe we don't have to go through a centralized decision-making entity. So that's an idea. So anyway, and the other thing is, one of the things we're on the precipice of right now is, you may have heard in the news that artificial intelligence is becoming sentient. It's beginning to be self-aware. That's interesting. But what it brings up for me, and this kind of ties into a separate article I read somewhere, that AI is being trained by us. We're the ones training it. Every click, every view, every subscription, every purchase is training AI. And a lot of that is kind of going circular, spiraling down, because you've got the marketing companies and everybody really knowing more and more and more how to tap into our emotional bodies and, even our mind and kind of put in the bets of who's able to control people the best. Um, so we are being confronted with that. These are people from, other end of technology. You know, those are not that we need somebody who can help to balance that out, and on the other side of technology. And I'm not calling out to the white hats. I'm calling out to us. You know, we're training it too. They may hold some algorithms and they do whatever they do. I have no clue, but I know that a lot of us, especially us old folks, we are in this place where technology is the evil thing, and it can be, if we don't help to guide it. So, what do you do about that? Like I don't want to touch it. And so those people who would like something else are not pitching in to the development of AI because they're avoiding it. They'll never use a phone. They'll, a cell phone, a smartphone. They'll never use a laptop or they don't. These are the people who are still carrying the wisdom, who know how to at least get along with each other. I mean, people are losing our ability to connect, in a interactive community type of way, and that's big because it requires a lot of willingness to step outside your comfort zone. I watched another little YouTube video. I'm a YouTube addict. Okay, so that's right up there. The Townsend and Sons or whatever YouTube channel. It shows the old skills, back in living in, I don't know where it is, Tennessee. In the olden days, is 18th century maybe, and he just did a video on what village life was like back then, before all of this technology and no electricity, let alone everything else. So they were still, horses and what have you. And he said that the villages were, a couple hundred people, typically. Maybe a big city was, less than 1,000, but everybody knew each other. And it was extremely intimate. If you got into a fight or did your baker's wife wrong, you might not have bread, and so you had to learn how to mend fences, so to speak, get along, and that was a skill that everybody had to have. Now, as we got more complex as a society, that was and has been for a very long time, has been tested. It doesn't seem to work. And that's kind of why we slipped into this dominating mindset. Who's the bigger, stronger, faster, better? So we, to actually create community requires need what is our need? If our need is not to get along with our neighbor because we can always just go somewhere else or, tune them out, what is community? I mean, what do we do it for? And maybe we don't, I'm sure that there's going to be massive, mega volumes of people that want to kind of slip into this new way of life is being offered to us, being put upon us. And it might be fun for a while. I'm not saying it won't. I mean, maybe it'll be, everybody's dream come true for a few years. But everything's changing, and the cards are set up in a way that makes it unpredictable. I have no idea which way things are going to go. and and neither do they, really, I don't think. I mean, they've got sort of this end goal. But then what? Is it all just happily ever after and everybody's going to live in bliss, all 500 million of us? That's different. That's Georgia Guidestone talk. Um, yeah, so we don't we don't know. What we do need to do is be creative, because we're not putting our energy, it's still scattered. And so if we can just tell AI what we want, which is by our clicks and our values, basically just our values. You know, if you're fear-based, it's not helping, because that's sort of what they are doing, and they're just trying to stir you right into the whirlpool. Um, if you don't want to go that way, then what's our options? I don't want to go that way down the toilet. You know, I want other options. And I think community feels, why would I want community? I think because Earth is speaking to us. I mean, she doesn't want us to sort of drift off into the metaverse forever, get lost, maybe in some metaverse heaven somewhere. I don't know. She wants us here. I hear that. You know, I was out gardening today, and I was kind of moving slow. I was really in tune, and you know, I do what I do, and if it were, and so what happened was I came across a few bees, and I was just in this kind of a gentle place, and I continued working around them, and they had absolute, oh, they would move over, you know, gently. If I act like a deer grazing, you know, you never see a deer out there being stung. Well, maybe they do. What do I know? But if certainly if they step on a nest or something. But when we move with nature, and I don't just mean, you know, save the ice and stuff. You know, I mean really move with nature. I mean be tuned in. Talk to her. She's not words. It's not words. It's not even analytical. It's more talking in the emotional body. Now, isn't that interesting? We've got commercials and everybody else affecting our emotional bodies, and it's almost like Mother Nature has just turned up her volume too. She's talking too. She's affecting us, and it's almost like this battle. You know, who's gonna rule the food systems, and of course that's how nature talks to us, is through not just how she talks to us, but one of the ways she talks to us is obviously through our food. So, gosh, you know, it's bad enough we're not sitting on the beach watching the ocean, or we're not, I mean, we're not all sitting in a beautiful forest watching a sunrise, but you know, we still are elements. We've got water, you know, somewhere we have to, even if you have to buy it at the Stop and Shop. Um, there are elements. We are dealing with elements. That's all we have. And if you listen, and we need to turn the electronics off. We need to turn the electronics off, because otherwise we can't hear anything. You know, I even have my modem set on a timer to go off at 10:30 and come back on at 7. So I'm not sort of marinating in waves all night. At least I get a break, my cells. So that's my crazy thoughts for today, and I hope you all stay creative.